Hey, what's going on?
Silas is still downstairs trying to keep it together, and I keep checking my messages to see if Julian's text.
Do you think he'll follow through with his offer to help?
Mom, I don't know. You were there. He said he was going to try and squeeze it out of Ava that she's the one who tried to kill Silas's wife. I don't know. I haven't heard from him.
Maybe he didn't make very much progress with Ava.
Or maybe he doesn't have time for the long-lost daughter he supposedly loves and adores.
Oh, Julian may be sincere in wanting to earn your trust. Give him some time. He may actually be doing his best.
You seem positively supportive. What, did something happen at dinner the other night?
Of course, whether Julian helps Silas or not, it's really a moot point.
You're avoiding the question rather badly,
No,
actually.
I'm just trying to stay focused on the subject at hand. Now, you know Detective West has had Silas for 48 hours. Hold on.
Yeah, I know, Mom. Which means that he should let him go.
Right.
Now.
Unless he has new evidence.
As it happens, I do have something.
What is this so-called evidence that you've dredged up against my client?
Well, it was actually Miss Morgan who found the key witness.
The pharmacist. Right, the so conveniently remembered filling up the prescription that Dr. Clay allegedly wrote to himself.
That put his wife in a coma.
Oh, come on. There are more holes in this damning testimony. I'm not even a lawyer.
Yeah,
and
well,
I
I
know
am a
this.
lawyer, and you've got nothing to charge Dr. Clay.
Are you sure? Nina Clay's will left everything to her husband. She comes from a very wealthy family. It seems Dr. Clay tried to kill his wife for money.
Can I see that, please?
Free. The original's already been filed into evidence. That's just a copy. Feel free to keep it.
Where exactly did you get the original?
My mailbox.
Your mailbox.
It was waiting there for me when I got home last night.
It was sent to your home.
Well, would you mind telling us by who?
I have no idea. It didn't have a return address.
That's really convenient. Well, you know what? Whether it's authentic or not, it really doesn't matter because a wife leaves money to her husband, makes him the beneficiary. Most spouses do that.
You know, most spouses don't have pregnant mistresses.
Here's a fun fact. In our line of work, cases are determined by fact and evidence. And you don't have enough to proceed because a pregnant mistress isn't enough to charge my client with murder.
Well, then the millions he stood to gain by her death should do the trick.
Not your call to make. It's the DA's. Where's Scott Baldwin?
So,
Track down D.A. Baldwin, but until he gets here, prisoner's not going anywhere.
Nice going, Detective. And thank you in advance for getting our case dismissed.
I forgot how much I like seeing you in lawyer
All right,
mode.
we'll hold your applause because we're not through.
No, I know, Mom. Okay, so do you think it's just a coincidence that a will shows up out of nowhere?
No, it's not just you. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Lucas, please.
We are definitely on the same wavelength.
Oh, and look who it is. My mother and I were just talking about you.
Well, I'm sure I gave you plenty of food for thought when I told you about Nina Clay's will.
Yeah, and surprise, surprise, guess what happened? You mentioned the will, and it actually showed up in Detective West's mailbox.
With no return address and no way to identify where it came from.
So?
Last I checked, no one else knew about Nina Clay's will.
You made sure you got it right before Silas was gonna get released or has to stay in lockup.
I'm gonna say this once, and then I'm leaving. I did not give Detective West the will. You got it? Now, if you excuse me, I have to help my daughter, since Silas is in too much trouble to lift a finger for her himself.
Oh, yeah? And whose fault is that?
Not mine. Oh, and Sam, it might please you to know that my dear brother did try to force me to admit that I had something to do with what happened to Nina. So congratulations. Julian would gladly throw me under the bus if it meant getting closer to his child.
You're